This is an intriguing question to debate. However, in answering a question like this, we must be honest with ourselves and our conscience. We live in the world, and whether we like it or not, we follow the patterns that exist in the world, secularism. The Bible teaches us to live radically. Jesus taught us, do not commit adultery, but Jesus also said, anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Matthew 5 verses 27 to 28, among many other things. If I may ask, do you need money? Surely, we would agree and say that we do. We should remember that we should not be bound by anything in the world. Of course, if we have money, there won't be any problems. Okay, I also agree with this. But have we ever thought about whether we can live without holding money? Trust in the Lord? I think it's difficult for me to think that way too. I still like to spend a lot of my money. I prefer taking a motorcycle taxi instead of a public minibus. I prefer eating meat over vegetables. I want to own a house, a car, and so on. In that case, does money bind me? I pondered and thought for a long time. I do need money, but I don't want to be attached to it either. Perhaps an illustration would make it easier. Suddenly, we win a lottery from a bank or anything. $250 million we receive. What will we do? Surely, we would think of giving some to the church or an orphanage, and maybe some for personal needs. But what will we use the remaining money for? Let's make a list first before we continue. Wait for 1 minute. We often say, I love you, Lord, more than everything. Let's say that, and then look at our list. It turns out it's difficult to love God. It turns out we still have many personal desires rather than God's desires. I once read a book with a passage like this. I want to have a private house with all luxurious items, a big TV, a sound system, air conditioning. I want my breakfast to be served in my room with scrambled eggs, sausages, and a glass of milk. I want to be served by maids who obey my commands, fetching me newspapers and drinks. I want to have a personal driver ready to take me wherever I go. I want to be in a luxurious car with sound systems, a TV, a mini fridge, and air conditioning. I want to have a beautiful, patient, gentle, and understanding wife. I want her to accompany me in the evenings. I want to watch the sunset with her. I want to have cute and spoiled children. I want to spend my old age with my wife, my children, my son-in-law, and my grandchildren. But all of these are just my desires. I have dedicated everything to the Lord. This is a poem written by a pastor. We can have all these desires, but do we remember what God wants? I also find it difficult to love God consistently, but does that mean we should give up? We are still given the opportunity to love God even more. If we are still alive today, it is a sign that God is giving us the chance to learn to love Him more and improve ourselves. It's fun to type like this. Okay, let's try it together. I don't think we are hypocrites because we still have desires, and we are honest about having those desires when asked. But we want to seek God's, and willing to offer all our desires for the glory of the Lord.